Hello everybody, welcome to Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and on today's video, assumptions are reality. The gift of infinity is being it all now. So, NevilleGoddard, it's done walking in assumption. You see, infinity is like having multiple presents on Christmas. You can only open one at a time. Right? The presents themselves are unlimited because you have unlimited experiencing of opening anything. But the experience of them is limited to each moment itself. Yet there are infinite moments of it. And you know you're on the timeline that opens all of them at some point, especially the ones that you can see, right? Or physically see. But move from what you can physically see to knowing that as awareness, whatever I desire, I have already opened, regardless if I can see it physically. Now, this is typically how we don't think about reality, right? So if you just take three presents for the moment, that's how it kind of exists, right? I just use an illustration to show this as infinity. You see, it's all superimposed onto itself. And that's just three presents. Imagine everything that ever existed was literally existing in the same non-local, non-expanding, infinite knowing center of the divine mind. Just all as one. That's how it is, superimposed onto itself. Every moment of the past that we consider, every moment of what the present could look like, every moment of whatever future that we can contemplate, all literally exists superimposed onto itself, infinity. Now, the only way infinity can actually experience itself is moment to moment, and that's what we have here, right? Those three presents, you see them visually, the three of them, either in imagination or in your physical expressed moment. Maybe you can open two at a time, right? Just for the sake of it. And then essentially you're going to open one, but you have to experience it moment to moment to moment. But you're not limited as the 3D physical you to those experiences only in the physical. You can, as awareness, move to opening whichever one, in whichever way you feel like opening, and experiencing whatever present that you open. Now, I know what the question is. No. But then what if I didn't get the present that I was imagining myself receive? I didn't experience my dream version of that moment. You didn't not experience the dream version of that moment. You experienced another moment in and as a reality. That's it. That's the only thing that happened. Your experiencing in the physical was a real experience. It's gone now. Your experiencing as awareness, being the version of reality, opening the present, experiencing the dream moment you wanted to experience continuously as that identity, as it unfolds forever and ever. That was also reality. It was also real, and you are that identity. So don't mistake opening something you weren't imagining or experiencing something you weren't imagining for you not being your desired version of reality right now. Because no matter what happens in the 3D physical, the only thing that matters is your state of being. And in that state of being, you know, I am the version of myself who opened this, who experienced my dream life, who did that thing, who experienced reality in that way. That is who I am right now and right here. And that's the only thing that matters. You know you are on the timeline that is experiencing, let's just say, New Year's. So from awareness, who are you and what timeline are you on if not your dream life? See, there can't be two alternative things happening. That's your physical experience of reality, which sounds a little counterintuitive because infinity is infinitely expressing anything. So the only real question is, who are you? And it's answered by I am. Not as a answer to the question, but as the act of answering it yourself, right? So right now in this physically focused moment, you are experiencing Christmas or whatever day you are seeing this on, right? And then you go to whatever moment, wherever, 2031, 2050, it doesn't really matter. Time is arbitrary, right? And you have a New Year's experience, and you say your desired New Year's experience was this specific one, but it didn't happen in this physically focused moment of New Year's. It doesn't mean you are not that version of reality you desire to be. It just means that part of the timeline of you experiencing your desired dream life, being that identity, was this moment. This moment is arbitrary. It doesn't mean anything. The only thing that means anything, again, is you being the desired version of yourself. Everything is rearranging around you. So I am is the declaration of reality, of the reality I desire to be in. I am that reality. You see, the entire strip is one thing. It's one thing expanded. And you're saying because of the one moment, the rest of the expansion can't be what I desire to be. But you never lived in it as of yet. Even if you are the creator of it, you're still experiencing your own creation. You're here to experience the creation, not dictate how it was created. You are the one that created it. So go to the end, not a specific date, right? I'm just saying all of these moments are there somewhere. Go to your end of what your preference is. That is who you are right now. That is the timeline that you are on right now. That is the identity of who you are right now. You walking in the assumption is you walking in the real, film reel, that of your dream life. I am who I imagine myself to be. That is exactly who you are. Not the physical. The physical is only expressing those words. Your knowing is shifting into that knowing itself. So that is who I must be, as no one else has free will in my reality but me. In your and as focusing attention, awareness itself. Nobody can force you to have your attention and focus on anything else but your dream life. You say things like, no, but the circumstances stop me from focusing on my dream life. No, they just have your attention physically in the moment as part of the unfolding. They don't stop you from focusing your dream life. You know that in this moment, okay, my attention as a 3D focused version of myself, it's here, sure. Like my attention is knowing that I'm holding this pen, but as awareness, I know that I'm the version that I desire to be. I know that is who I choose to be. I know that's the declaration of who I say I am. Even if my moment-to-moment focusing as a 3D physically focused being is here, the here physically is never going to dictate what metaphysically as awareness I know that I've already chosen to be. It's not the continuous awareness staring at your dream life. It is the knowing that that's the dream life I have chosen, that's the identity I've chosen, that is the assumption I am making as to who I am, ongoing and unfolding right here and right now. There's nothing else. There is no one but you. There is none but one as you. Because there is no such thing as anything, right? All the names and all the objects only have beingness in relation to what they are not. What they are not in reference to I am is something on its own. It is but I am as that object, as that name, and it exists as that snapshot, a rearrangement of self in that way. This is inclusive of all thought, emotions, past, present, and future, alternate, opposite, and adjacent, right? All are but of the one now arranged for your experiencing of it. Very poetic, I know, but let me explain what I just said there, right? So if you look at the image, there's this ball of energy as a depiction of source. Source is being all of that stuff, right? The people, the events, the circumstances, the throwing of the appliances, the stuff, right? All of it. And everything we think, okay, now this is a pen, it has a name, it has objectivity, it has some sort of beingness to it. But no, it doesn't. Source is being the knowing of the name. Source is being the object itself. Source is being you seeing the object. Source is being all of it. The only true name is source. We think that these things have solidity because it has a name, because it has seeming solidity, right? But it has solidity to the solid projection that you are, right? But as awareness, it doesn't. You can do whatever you like to it in awareness, right? So all of the names, all of the beingness, it is source being that, your own name. Source, you as awareness, is being the knowing of your own name. And you can change your name. You know that. It might seem a little awkward at first, but you know that you can change your name to something else. And you know that the experiencing of that transitioning and unfolding of that experience where you have a different name, everyone calls you the same name, everyone starts to change into calling you the new name. If you understand that there'll be this unfolding of whatever it might be, but ultimately you know that, no, I could actually identify as another version with a different name and have an unfolding of reality where everyone already exists as that version of themselves calling me that name. And I understand there'll be an unfolding, but it'll never change the knowing that the version of me who has that name and is called by that name exists. It's the same thing with anything. But looking at it from a awareness point of view, the only point of view that matters is knowing the only point of view that exists that actually you know that it is source being the version of you as that name. Source is being the knowing of the name. Source is being the knowing of any name. Source is being the knowing of any name of anything that is referenced. Because the name doesn't matter. The objectivity of that thing doesn't matter. You know, that line in the Matrix, there is no spoon, right? Because the name spoon is still the Matrix being the name spoon. The spoon itself, the object, is the Matrix being the name, the object, the spoon. The Neo, the character, it is the Matrix being Neo, the character. It's only that his consciousness is one with that, and he is able to see that everything is just the Matrix, everything is just consciousness. So when you as consciousness recognize that nothing literally is anything other than source, all the conditions, all the circumstances, all the prerequisites, all the requirements, all the time, all the distance, all the past, all the future, all the present, it's all just arrangement of self. You can imagine anything you like, because you know you must now have everything you want, because it's one with you and it has no objectivity on its own. The only objectivity is the subjective calling forth of that experience from the only thing that is objective, which is you as source of reality, because you are reality. And I am your host, Reese. This is Your Reality with Reese. Thank you all for being here. Much love and much light. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the liking. Thank you for the sharing. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Thank you for joining the TikTok page. Thank you for joining the Facebook page. Thank you for the emails. And I'll see you all in the next one.